What's going on, friends? My name is Twitchy Hedwig, and you guys are so amazing. The fact that I can keep putting out these videos and you guys just keep being so supportive and giving me great ideas is amazing. I love making these videos, and as long as you keep asking for them, I will keep delivering. So far, we have covered birds, bugs, dogs, and just some various Gen 2 Pokemon. So I think that cats are next up on the table. Now, not that there are any shortage of cat Pokemon. Just like dogs, there are a ton of them, and we have a lot of ground to cover. So before we get started, if you guys like my content and you want to see more, I do have a playlist linked in the description of my Pokemon origin story videos, and another playlist just for my Pokemon artwork. If you guys enjoy what I'm doing, I would love if you subscribed and shared this video, and help me get the word out. Now, without further ado, here are the origins of cat Pokemon. Number 1, Esper. We're starting out this list with maybe not the most iconic cat Pokemon, but one of the cutest for sure. Esper! I never really paid Esper much thought before using one in my Wonderlock of Pokemon Moon. A Wonderlock is like a Nuzlocke, but you Wonder Trade every Pokemon that you catch, and you have to use what you get back in the trade. Esper's real-life counterpart is no less cute, if not more cute, than my favorite little kitten. Esper is based on a specific breed of cat called a Scottish Fold, a medium-sized fluffy cat that has distinctive folded ears. Look at this. Look at this cat. It has tiny folded ears. Just in researching this Pokemon, I wanted to get up, leave my house, and find the nearest Scottish Fold cat I could cuddle. The origins of Scottish Folds is actually a really interesting story. It all traces back to one cat named Susie. Susie was a special cat, and she was born in 1961 in Perthshire, Scotland, and she was born with an unusual fold in the middle of her ears. This was thought to be a fluke, but when Susie had kittens, not one but two of her babies were born with folded ears as well. One of the babies was given to the family neighbor, William Ross, who registered them as their own breed with the GCCF, or the Governing Council of Cat Fancy, in 1966. One of Susie's babies was neutered soon after birth. However, her female kitten, Snooks, did reproduce. Susie passed in a car accident a few months after Snooks' birth, so she didn't have any more babies, but reportedly all Scottish Fold cats share an ancestry to Snooks and Susie, and I like to think that Esper does as well. They certainly have the same ears and the same cute face. Number 2, Delcatty. Delcatty is simultaneously a commonly forgotten Pokemon and a favorite among some trainers. Personally, Delcatty is my favorite cat Pokemon. It has a great color combination and a really nice shiny. That hunt is definitely on my to-do list, and is all around just a really cute Pokemon. Its pre-evo is absolutely adorable, Skiddy, and while I thought about giving Skiddy its own spot in this video, it's not very extensive, so I'll just quickly include it here. Skiddy is based on a domestic house cat, and its tail is apparently based on foxtail grass. In my opinion, its tail doesn't really look like foxtail grass to me at all. However, this apparently was Game Freak's intention, as the Japanese name for Skiddy is Aniko, which comes from Nico, or cat, and Anoko Koroguza, which is foxtail grass in Japanese. In my opinion, Skiddy's tail looks much more like a cattail, a common plant that you'll find in ponds and wetlands. Maybe it's just an error in translation, but this seems more like the concept that they were going for than a foxtail. We'll talk a little bit more on that later, but back to Delcatty. Delcatty's design is actually strongly based on a lynx. This resemblance is mostly observed in the face. You can see that Delcatty actually has those characteristic tufted ears of a lynx. At first I thought perhaps this also might be referring to a caracal? I don't know how you say that. But instead, if you look again, Delcatty and lynxes both also have that ruffled face that comes to a point on the cheeks. They also both have slender bodies, and I couldn't really explain the neck ruff on Delcatty at first, but then it hit me like a ton of bricks. If we read the Dex entry for Delcatty from Alpha Sapphire, it says, Delcatty sleeps anywhere it wants without keeping a permanent nest. Once I read this, I realized that ruff on its neck is clearly a neck pillow. You know, like the ones that they get on planes. Delcatty is known for just sleeping anywhere and everywhere, so obviously it needs this little portable pillow to carry around. Coming back to foxtails, seriously, these aren't foxtails, these are cattails. That would make so much more sense because cattails sound like cat, and foxes aren't cats, they're canids like dogs and wolves. But anyways, if we look on Delcatty's pillow, we can see this reference again in its design, just like Skiddy. Number 3 and 4, Persian and the Lowland Persian. Is it a cop-out to combine two forms of the same Pokemon into one segment? This is my channel, I do what I want. But either way, I need to start saying something interesting before y'all start clicking away because I decided to talk about this thing. I know, a Lowland Persian is honestly difficult to comprehend apparently. I'll just say it. It's ugly. It's really ugly. But I promise y'all, there are always reasons behind the decisions that Game Freak makes. Not always great decisions, but decisions nonetheless. I want to start with Kanto Persian first. You know, the one we kind of love, I guess. It's a nice design, but it's pretty forgettable in my opinion. I guess this thing just makes me appreciate the original a bit more. The origins aren't that revolutionary in all actuality. Its design is mostly based on Siamese cats, not Persians, ironically, and puma cats, or cougars. However, the jewel on its forehead hints to being towards partially based on a carbuncle, which is a cryptid from Latin America. Really, carbuncles have been described as being a variety of things, from small armadillo creatures all the way to dragon-type creatures. But one of the most consistent ones I've seen is some sort of mixture of a dog, cat, or rabbit, and the carbuncle is a reoccurring monster designed throughout the Final Fantasy series, and it's known for having a jewel in the middle of its forehead. A Lowland Persian is an entirely different manner altogether. There's actually a reason this cat looks so awful. Thank goodness. A Lowland Persian is actually based on a specific breed of cat called a British Shorthair, a cat that's known for having a chunky body and a broad face, just like its Pokemon counterpart. The color of a Lowland Persian refers to this cat as well, as the most familiar color variant is the British Blue, which is a really nice blue-toned gray color. British Shorthairs actually have this enlarged head as a result of inbreeding, as people would selectively breed this cat trying to create a breed or color variance of certain traits, like the blue color of the British Blue. This is actually a really awful thing that happens when not enough new DNA is introduced when breeding certain species, just because people want designer animals with certain traits. A really tragic example of this is white tigers. A lot of people think that white tigers are just a rare occurrence, but this really isn't the case. White tigers are a result of inbreeding tigers with this certain trait to produce offspring that carry that same trait. As a result, many lines of white tigers are severely inbred, and this causes so many health problems. A lot of the cats are cross-eyed, they can have clubbed feet and cleft palates, spinal deformities, and enlarged heads like we see on a Lowland Persian. So, I really like to think that they made a Lowland Persian this ugly for a purpose, perhaps to start a discussion on the results of inbreeding species just to prolong certain traits. I really suggest reading up on this, and I've included a few links in the description, so go ahead and check those out. Number 5, Raikou. I know that there are going to be a small portion of people that see this and are going to start typing a comment like, OMG, Raikou is part of the legendary dogs, you idiot, not cats. And I'm just going to stop you right there. Raikou is part of the legendary beast, and beast does not equal dogs. In fact, all three of the trio presents both dog and cat-like qualities, and an assortment of other creatures as well. I chose Raikou simply because I liked his origin story the best, and he is based on a variety of creatures actually. Firstly, Raikou is based on an extinct family of animals called Smilodon. How cool is that name? But Smilodon is better known as a type of saber-toothed cat. Now, notice I say cat and not saber-toothed tiger as commonly said. That's because while saber-toothed tiger is the common name for this animal, they're not closely related to tigers at all, or really any of our big cats. There are actually 3 species in the Smilodon family, but the most well-known one and the one that Reiko is likely based on is Smilodon Fatalis. Other than saber-toothed cats though, Raikou is still slightly based on real-world tigers as well. The thick fur around its neck is reminiscent of a Siberian tiger, and the stripes could be related to any number of tiger species, or saber-toothed cats for all we know, since it's not really known what patterns that they had on their coats. There's another reference to be found in Raikou with the Japanese Thunder Demon. However, this involves another Pokemon, so you'll just have to wait and hear about that in another time. Maybe in the Origins of Dog Pokemon Part 2. And that's the end of the show, folks. If you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comments if you could own any cat Pokemon, what would you choose? I think I'd go with Esper. He's really cute. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye!